in the last session we were doing this chapter which was the last leaf, right? In that there were two characters, Jew and John C and Sue, right? So in this character, what did we see? The John C was a person who was ill, right? And what did she think? That when the last leaf will fall, she will also die. And then we saw about Behram, that Behram was an old painter who always used to think that he will make a masterpiece, but yet his masterpiece was left, right? He didn't made any masterpiece, but he always thought that I'll make one. Now coming to the page number 69, students, we did till 1, 2, 3, 4th para, right? That Jansi was sleeping, and then last line, outside a cold rain was falling continuously, mingled with snow, and then Sue closed the window, right? And then we saw that it was raining heavily, and then Behram came, he worked as a model, and then Sue saw that it was raining, it was also cold outside, and then she closed the window, right? इतना हम लोग ने देखा. Now coming to the next part. Next morning when Sue woke up, she found that John C was staring at the closed window again with dull, wide open eyes, right? Next day, that day, Sue was working and then she felt asleep, but when she woke up, what did she see? That Jansi was on the window, near the window, and she was just looking at those leaves, and she was counting the leaves with dull, wide open eyes. जैसे हम normally हमारा eyes होता है, right? सोने के बाद उठने के बाद वैसा. So in the same way, she was also looking outside the window, and Jansi was counting the leaves. Open the window, I want to see, she ordered. Sue obeyed. Okay, that she was just standing at the window, and then she ordered Sue to open the window. And as per John C said, Sue opened the window. She obeyed what she said. But lo, even after the rain and the fierce wind that blew throughout the night, there yet stood against the brick wall one ivy leaf. Okay, that it was raining so heavily last night, and it was ठंडा ठंडा हवा चल रहा था, प्लस इतने जोर से हवा that everyone thought that the leaf will fall, but there was one last leaf which was stood on the stem, कि वो एकदम फिट था स्टेम पे, वो नहीं गिरा. It was the last one on the vine, that it was the last leaf on that vine. Still dark green near its stem, but when its edges tinted with yellow, it hung bravely from a branch some 20 feet above the ground. Okay, that they are describing the color of the leaves, that it was dark green, but जो branch के side होता है, जो stem के side होता है, there it was yellow, and it was standing bravely, like it was hung very bravely, and ऐसे लग रहा था that it would never fall, and it was about some 20 feet above from the ground. It is the last one, said John C. I thought it would surely fall during the night. I heard the wind, it will fall today, and I shall die at the same time. So what John C is saying to Sue, that now this is the last one, and I thought that it was raining so heavily last night. I heard the noise and I thought it would have fallen down, but since it has not fallen down yet, it will fall down now, and then I will also die. John C was preparing herself for the last journey that one makes alone. The feeling was very strong within her, okay, that now she was, it is like she was behaving like that she knew that she is gonna go. She is behaving as if, now the last leaf will fall and I will die. So she was preparing herself for it. And then she was firm on her decision that once the leaf will fall, she will die. The ties of Sue's friendship and other things on earth became loose one by one. Okay, the day wore away, but even through the twilight, they could see the lone ivy leaf clinging to its stem against the wall. At night, again the wind raged and the rain poured. Okay. Now what are they saying? That the ties of Sue's friendship and other things on earth became loose one by one. Now basically what they're saying that time passed by. Twilight is soon after the sunset. So सुबह चली गई, फिर शाम का टाइम आया. Even during the evening time that leaf didn't fall. Okay, now it was night time and again it was raining heavily and John C was like अब तो पक्का गिरेगा leaf, but then also it didn't fell. Okay, at night again the wind raged and the rain poured. That again it was raining heavily, also wind was flowing, but the leaf didn't fell. Next day, when it was light enough, Chauncey asked you to open the window. Now it was next day, and it was morning time, and Chauncey asked you that please can you open the door. The ivy leaf was still there, but now also this leaf was there. What did Chauncey thought? उसको क्या लगा कि okay, now since it was raining heavily last night, wind was also flowing, अब तो leaf पक्का गिर गया होगा. But next day also the leaf was there. Chauncey lay for a long time looking at it. Thus she called Sue. Sue dear, she said, I have been a bad girl. Something has made a last leaf stay there to show me how wicked I was. It is a sin to want to die. And then Chauncey realizes that now every day I'm waiting that leaf will fall, but the leaf is not falling. And then she calls Sue and says her that I was a bad girl, that I was someone who was mad, that I was thinking that when leaf will fall I will also die. I was thinking very bad, and that is why it is like she was saying that it is a sin. एक पाप जैसा होता है when you think that you want to die. Life is so beautiful, like everything has ups and downs in life. So ऐसा नहीं कि we are facing problem and then we think of ending our life. No, that is not the solution, students. Everyone has ups and downs and life is full of ups and downs, right? किसी को ऐसा नहीं है that everyone is happy throughout his or her life. So that's what she's saying, that now I've remembered that thinking to die is like a sin. After that, she was ready to take the broth and milk that Sue brought her, and then later on, she was ready to take all the soup and food which Sue gave her. She wanted to sit up in the bed. Someday, I hope to paint the Bay of Naples. And now she's normal, and now she's thinking of her work. That now she's thinking they both were artists, right? हम लोग ने starting में देखा they were struggling artists. So now she's saying that now I will sit and think of painting, and what I will paint, the Bay of Naples. Okay. Mr. Behram downstairs was now ill with pneumonia. The sweeper had found him lying helpless in his room in very wet clothes and shoes. But what happened, at one point she was getting better, right? Chauncey was feeling better, she was okay. But at another side, Behram, the old painter जो उस दिन मॉडल बन के आए थे for Sue, he was not feeling well. Okay, he got pneumonia. And then the sweeper who works as a maid, the one who's working, जो काम sweep करता है, जो झाड़ू मारते हैं, what he found, that Behram was falling helpless. He was lying helpless in his room with wet clothes and shoes, and उनके कपड़े and shoes पूरे गीले थे. He also found some scattered brushes and a palette with green and yellow colors mixed on it. Okay, see, he got pneumonia. Okay, he was wet, his clothes were wet. Okay, his clothes and shoes were wet. There were palette and उसके ऊपर yellow and green color था. Can you guys connect to something? All of these things are so connected to Chauncey, right? Let us see what has happened further. क्योंकि जॉन्सी ने भी जो लीफ देखा था उसके ऊपर भी येलो एंड ग्रीन कलर था. एट दैट टाइम ऑल्सो इट वॉज रेनिंग हेविली. नाउ लेट अस सी व्हाट हैपेंड फर्दर. 2 days later, Mr. Behram died in a hospital. But what happened? That 2 days later, Mr. Behram died because of pneumonia, and he died. The last ivy leaf was still there on the wall. It never fluttered or moved when the wind blew. Okay, fluttered is shake. The last leaf was still there and it never fell down. No matter what, कितना हवा आया, कितना बारिश आया, it would always stay there and it never felt down. It was Behram's masterpiece. Students, समझा आप लोगों को the twist? बेहरम जो हमेशा बोलता था that I'll make a masterpiece, I'll make a masterpiece, he made one. वो लास्ट लीफ तो कब का गिर चुका था, बट ये जो जॉन्सी, the one which Chauncey always used to see was Behram's masterpiece. He himself had made that painting which was so real that even Chauncey could not figure out that it was a painting and not a real leaf. He had painted it there that night when the last leaf had fallen. कि last leaf तो कब का गिर चुका था, but as he said, and इसीलिए वो बेचारे गीले हो गए थे. Why? Because he was painting that leaf outside, and that is why he was completely wet. His clothes were wet, his shoes were wet, and then he suffered from pneumonia. But his masterpiece was created, that it was so beautiful that even John C. could not figure out that it was a painting and not the leaf. Understood, student? A beautiful lesson out there. Now let us come to the workshop part. Okay, now there were few questions which I gave to you students as homework. Okay, now we will cross check it because most of you all were confused in the part of grammar when they had said you to make question answers of the same word. You were confused, right? तो अपन वो एक बार देख लेंगे, ठीक है? Now let us come to, just a sec. Let us come to the first part, warming up session. उसमें लिखा है do's that go to a doctor for diagnosis. Okay, तो इसमें don'ts में क्या आएगा student? That you should do not put off visiting the doctor. Okay, that you should not put it off कि okay लाइट बुखार है तो उसको हल्के में नहीं लेना. You should not put off visiting the doctor. Now don'ts में लिखा है do not avoid medicines on time. तो do's में क्या होगा? Take your medicines on time. Understood? Third is take a suitable diet. Okay, तो don'ts में क्या होएगा? Avoid suitable diet तो नहीं avoid कर सकते, तो अपन क्या avoid कर सकते हैं? Eating junk food. तो avoid eating junk food would be in don'ts part. Now there is don'ts में क्या दिया है? Avoid physical stress and exertion. So what would be there in do's में? Relax and take rest. Rest in proper ventilated room. तो don'ts में क्या होएगा? Do not remain with all doors and windows shut. Okay, remain with all doors and windows shut. Next, have cheerful thoughts, courage and positive attitude, and do not lose hope and be courage and be brave. Now coming to this part, the question जिसमें आपको फॉर्म करना है sentences. इसमें सब लोग कंफ्यूज हो गए थे students. इसमें basically क्या है? There's this word fine, okay, which has same spelling and same pronunciation, but the meaning over here are different. इसके दो सेंटेंसेस बनाने थे आपको. सो व्हेन यू से फाइन, वन इज़ जो फाइन हमको लगता है, राइट, जो फाइन हम पे करते वो एक फाइन, एंड अनदर फाइन इज़ द वन विच यू से नॉर्मली दैट या आई एम फाइन. So the sentence is, first one, the shawl is made up of fine silk thread. Okay, that it is made up of fine beautiful silk thread. Fine, the nice one. And next, I feel fine now that I'm in the open air. No, don't write this one as second one. Write that as I was late in the meeting I had to pay a fine. ऐसा लिखो second one. This is wrong. Okay, next, wave. Okay, the wave is two waves. एक तो C के waves होते हैं वो, and जो हम किसी को when we greet someone hi hello करते हैं ना, waving, वो एक wave होता है. Okay, so the first one is the waves in the sea water were gentle. that the waves were gentle. And the second one is my friend gave me a wave before departing. Okay, that when I was leaving, my friend gave me a wave. Understood, students, what you wanted to do over here? Now third one is bear. Okay, now bear में there are two parts, two meanings. One is bear मतलब क्या, सहन करना. To सहन करना is to adjust in a particular way, or to just be okay with what you are going through, is called bear. And second is वो animal वाला bear. ठीक है, so it is not easy to bear the problems in life. ये एक sentence बनता है. And दूसरा would be I saw polar bear doing tricks in the zoo. Understood, student? Now rose, what do you mean by rose? Rose is a past tense of rise. बढ़ना जिसको बोलते हैं ना, बढ़ गया वैसा, तो उसको रोज बोलते. तो there are, this meaning has, this word has two meanings. One is a flower and another is to increase. So rose, the first one is the rose is a sweet smelling flower, and the second one is the temperature rose after the cyclone. Understood? Next, lead. Now what do you mean by lead? Lead is to give एक पोस्ट कि you will lead this function. Okay, तो you are the leader of the function वैसा. तो the one who is leading it, एक वो lead हो जाता है, and another is the normal lead जो हम पेन पेंसिल में यूज़ करते हैं वैसा. So the first one is the plate of coal turned to lead in the wrong hand. Okay, lead यहाँ पे कौन सा यूज़ किया, जो मेटल वाला है. And next one, my parents have led me to the right path in life. Okay, कि मुझे उन्होंने एक अच्छे डायरेक्शन में लीड किया है. Understood, students? ऐसा आपको होमवर्क करना था. Most of the students have submitted me the wrong ones because I guess the question was not understood to you properly. But I hope कि अभी आपको समझा what you wanted to do in that homework part. Next, match. Now match is like, एक होती है matchstick वाला match, right? And another one is a cricket match sort of match. So first one, I enjoyed the cricket match between India and Pakistan, yeah, India and England, anything. And the second one is a match is important to set fire to debris. Okay, next, second. Now सेकेंड के बच्चा लोग टू ऑप्शंस होते हैं, राइट? वन इज़ लाइक एवरी सेकेंड, जो टाइम वाला सेकेंड होता है वो. एंड दूसरा सेकेंड कौन सा होता है, जो फर्स्ट सेकेंड वाला सेकेंड होता है वो. Understood? So first we will write the time wala second. Every second in life is important to us. That every second of life, every part of life is important to us. This becomes one sentence. Another sentence is I was very happy when I won the second place in essay competition. So this is like first second wala second. Understood? The next one is object. Now object over here means one is a particular thing and another over here means objective, your aim of your life वैसा. So the object of our lives, the aim of our lives must be we should love our fellow men. Or you can write the objective of our life should be happy. Simple. And next, my parent did not object to my becoming a football player. Over here object is वो वाला object जो reject करने वाला बोलते हैं वैसा, तो वो भी चलेगा. Understood? जहाँ पे जो meanings बैठते हैं वो. Because English is such a language, where you have a particular word, but it might have different meanings. Understood? Now come to next part. Read the story and choose the appropriate meanings that you have to read, and you have to choose the appropriate meanings. Struggling artists. Now what do you mean by struggling artists? The artists which are fighting with one another? No, right? Wrong, ये तो नहीं हो सकता. Next is artists which are trying hard to earn a living, the one who are trying their best to earn. Or the artist paintings war scenes. So over here you all know struggling मतलब क्या, the one who are trying hard to earn a living. Next, skeleton branches. Skeleton is bare branches. सूखा सूखा खाली पड़ा हुआ वैसा. Wielded the brush. What do you mean by wielded the brush? मतलब painted skillfully. स्किलफुली जिसको पेंट करते हैं ना उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं विल्डिंग द ब्रश. अंडरस्टूड. नेक्स्ट, पैलेट. व्हाट इज़ अ पैलेट स्टूडेंट? इट इज़ बेसिकली अ बोर्ड विच इज़ यूज्ड टू मिक्स कलर्स. अंडरस्टूड. Again coming to this part, see sub question 2. Make pair of sentences to show the difference between the meanings of the word. Now the word are same but over here the meanings are different. Interest. इंटरेस्ट मतलब देर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. वन इज़ जिसको जो मुझे पसंद है, द थिंग्स विच आई लाइक, राइट. व्हेन आई से लाइक दिस इज़ माई पार्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट और दिस इज समथिंग विच इंटरेस्ट मी अप. ओके. एंड अनदर इंटरेस्ट इज द इंटरेस्ट विच वी गेट इन बैंक्स. ओके. सो द फर्स्ट वन इज माई फ्रेंड शोज इंटरेस्ट इन स्टडीज. Simple. The second one is today banks are paying good interest on money invented by us. समझा अभी यहाँ पे कैसे मीनिंग्स आपको बनाना था, कैसे सेंटेंस बनाना था. Second, well. Now, there are two types of well. That as I say now, okay fine, well you can do it. So this one is a well, the normal one which we use in sentence, and the second one is well, कुआं जिसको हम लोग बोलते हैं वो. So the sentences are, in village people still draw water from well. Okay. And the next one is his essays was very well written. तभी जो next one है left, just, ये आपका होमवर्क होगा. ठीक है. इसके sentences आपको मुझे बना के देने हैं. Sorry. Next. Now main characters. This was done, you guys did it at homework, right, last time. Main characters John C, Sue, Mr. Behram and the doctor. Basically, no, this was not done by you. You have to write about the problem, the attempts made to solve it, and the climax turning point. This was not done by you guys, so this is your homework. Okay. You have to write which was the problem, how was it solved, what are the attempts which were made to solve them, and what was the climax. Okay, this is something which would be your homework. Now coming to sub question 4. Say whether the following statements are wrong or right. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Sue and John C were very close friends. It is a true right sentence, right? So you have to write right. Next, Sue was a rich girl. No, both of them were struggling artists and they were struggling. So it is wrong. John C was helpful that she will live. Was it? No, na. John C was always thinking that once the leaf will fall, she will also die. So she never thought that she will leave. So it is a false statement. Next, Behram was a hard-hearted person. No, he wasn't hard-hearted person. Even he cared for John C as Sue cared. So wrong sentence. Next, the last leaf fell off during the rain. Yes, true or false students? It fell off, right? वो पहले ही बारिश में गिर गया था. And the leaf which we were seeing was one which was made by John C. So yeah, it is a true, which was made by Behram. So yeah, it is a true sentence. Next, John C realized that her thinking was wrong. देखा ना हम लोग ने. Then she says it was like a sin, thinking that living I should not live was like a sin. So she realized it. So yeah, it is a true sentence. Next, Behram did not know anything about the last leaf falls. He completely knew about it, right? And he was the one who made that last leaf so real that it felt like a real leaf, and that John C was not able to find it. So yeah, he was knowing about this thing and it is a wrong statement. समझा बच्चे लोग? Next, now you have to correct the following statements. Sub question 5. The statements are wrong. You have to correct them. Sue and John C were good neighbors. Were they good neighbors? you have to write down that no, they shared a, you don't have to write yes or no, you just have to write that they shared a flat and set upon a joint studio. Okay, जो correct statement है वो. Jhansi was eager to recover from her illness. We all know that she wasn't eager. She had made her mind that she would not leave if the leaf would fall. Right? तभी जो थर्ड वाला है, you ignored Jhansi completely. This would be your homework. Behram was a very heartless person. This would be your homework. EF ये पूरा आपका homework रहेगा. Read the description from the following story and write. Yeah, this was done by you guys as homework, right? Last time. So yeah, that was almost it for today's session, student. We have covered the session. I hope you have understood the session, and yeah, it was a beautiful lesson with a beautiful meaning that you should always be happy in your life no matter what. Okay, and you should not believe in all such things that, you know, एक लीफ गिर गया तो I will also die. You should not think of all those things. Okay, so yeah, students, will that's it for today's session. We'll see you all in the next. Till then, bye bye and take care. Bye.